Hello and welcome to How to Be an Icon. I am Jared Jones, and I'm joined by Donna Cameron, resident literature expert on the show.
Hello, I've read a book.
She's read...
Jared can't read.
I can't read. I don't read books. That's not what I do.
That's not true. You're reading a book that I'm very excited to talk about in our next episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But
I read a real book.
Yeah, I don't read fiction is what I should probably say. I love non-fiction. Love that. Oh my God. I'm reading so much non-fiction at the minute.
Things that are real and that happen.
Things that are real are the best things.
Whereas I like fake things that reflect real things. Fiction.
If you haven't already, please give us a follow on your podcast platform of choice, whether you are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever it is where you get your fine audio medium content. Give us a follow. We would really, really appreciate it.
I think we're available on LimeWire now.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And it's not it's an audio clip of Bill Clinton saying I did not have sexual relations with that woman. So that's...
And if you don't understand that joke, this show might be too mature for you. This might not be for you, but stick around. You might get something out of it.
You can also follow us on Instagram, How to Be an Icon Podcast, where we post all of our fun updates and wonderful stories. Go on there, give us a share round, and we will give you a shout out on our Instagram. Today, we are talking about a novel and an author because the movie is coming out pretty soon. It's the year of yearning, Donna. It's the
year of yearning.
It's the year of yearning because we're talking about Wuthering Heights.
Cathy! Yeah, so... You know, we try to sometimes line things up with things that are happening in the world. And like, this was a good one.
Yeah.
This kind of came about because I was going to do this inevitably anyway. But we're talking about Wuthering Heights and Emily Bronte. Trying to remember which Bronte sister we're talking about has been a challenge.
I do use them interchangeably.
Yeah, Jared doesn't care which Bronte we're talking about. It's just like... You know, one of the many.
One of the many Brontes that are out there.
There's one that I keep forgetting the name of.
There's 3 of them?
There were 5 originally, but we'll get to it.
Oh, okay. Is it like a Sugar Babes type situation?
Yeah, the Bronte sisters are very similar to the Sugar Babes in that they're just kind of a rotating carousel of them.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
The other one was Anne. So the 3 main ones were Emily, Charlotte, and Anne.
Mm-hmm. So is Emily like the Chris Hemsworth? Charlotte's like the Liam Hemsworth.
Charlotte's the most famous one and the most charismatic.
So yeah, she's the Chris.
Yes.
Then Emily is the Liam.
Yep.
And then Anne is the other ones that we don't talk about.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad that we got that. We settled that one. I just want to preface this by saying I know nothing about the Brontes. Emily, Charlotte, or Scrappy Bronte. I don't know. Ringo Bronte. I don't know anything about them. So
for today, unfortunately, Anne Bronte is not going to really feature in this whatsoever.
Bam, non-factor.
Bam, non-factor. Just know that she existed. She was one of the sisters.
Okay.
Charlotte Bronte, we will do an episode about in the future. She wrote Jane Eyre.
Which I do. I've heard of that.
What happens in Jane Eyre, Jared?
I'm going to take a punt here.
Go
on what happens in Jane Eyre, because most classic literature, I'm going to say some sort of real estate, some going around other people's houses.
A lot of going around other people's houses.
And a lot of...
I mean, she goes around to one person's house for a long time.
A lot of enemies to lovers type situation.
There is that. Jane Eyre is the one with the man's wife in the attic who has gone mad. And he's like... Don't worry about that. I love you, Jane.
Is that the guy who like pretended to die after going on a canoe and then he was actually living under the stairs?
What?
Did you not know about this? This is like a while ago. But yeah, no, there was a man who went out on a canoe, pretended to die, and like his wife was there and he was just living under the stairs the whole time.
I've never heard of this. We'll do an episode about that guy as well, because that's great and not what we're talking about.
He just like turned up one day and went, "Oh, I think I'm missing." And it's like, wait a minute, that's very weird. You've been missing for like 10 years. No, he was living under the stairs the whole time.
Well, someone goes missing for about 10 years in this story as well, so we can bring it all the way back
there we
round.
go.
Jared, what was Emily Bronte's favorite drink?
So, again, judging by the time period, I'm going to probably say tea.
I'm going to say it's tea.
But if I had to guess what I think her favorite flavor of Monster Energy was...
I was going to say, do you want to see a picture of her so you can...
yes, please.
There you go. So there's one where she's a real baddie, and there's one where she's like the most haunted Victorian child.
She's a Monster Ultra, the white one, sugar-free.
Yeah. Yeah, real basic.
She might, if she's feeling like a bit fruity, get a peach one, but like she's not going to love it.
Unlike Mary Shelley, who's getting like all of the juiced ones.
Yeah, yeah, she is. She loves the mango madness. Like,
they're delicious.
But no, she's a basic white Monster Ultra user.
I think in this first picture, she looks a little bit like Jade from The Traitors.
Yeah, she does. She does look a bit of a baddie there.
I'm going to say Emily Bronte's a bit of a baddie, but like not approachable.
Okay, that makes her more of a baddie, if you ask me.
We're going to like make the assumption that she likely her drink was tea.
Okay.
That or just real plain room temperature water.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a bit cold. It is Yorkshire. Tea is mentioned all the way through Wuthering Heights, like often as like a sense of tension.
Yeah.
There's a lot of very tense making tea in this. And they have tea sets. The house that they lived in is preserved. It's called the Bronte house now.
Oh, yeah.
So they have like a lot of the tea sets they owned. But I think people do the thing of going, they were obsessed with tea because they had tea sets. And you go, well, we have a lot of mugs. And
it's true.
I'm not going to like state that we're obsessed with tea.
No, we drink a lot of coffee though. Like,
but obsessed?
There's been times.
Emily was born on the 30th of July, 1818. She was the daughter of a poor Irishman, Patrick Bronte, who won a scholarship to Oxford and became a perpetual curate, which is basically a priest with a wage.
Okay.
I think.
Priest for hire.
I tried, it's one of those. I tried reading about this and I gave up on immediately because it was a lot of words. I'm a godless child. I know nothing of this. So it was a lot of words that I don't know what they meant. So I just assume that he is a priest with a wage. If I'm wrong, email us in. Send us answers on a postcard.
I'm sort of imagining that it's like a sort of mercenary priest. He's a priest for hire. Like, your priest is like, you get him in. And he's like, he demands top dollar, but he'll work for anyone. Any faith, any
denomination.
Yeah, any denomination, he's there. Catholic, Protestant, Church of England. He's there for all of them. Like, he's...
Anglican, boom. He married a woman called Maria Barnwell. I almost said Barnwell.
Maria Barnwell.
Like I'm in Fawlty Towers.
Yeah.
She was the daughter of Cornish merchants, and she was significantly better off than Patrick, which made for like a bit of an unusual marriage at the time.
Yeah, mommy earns that she wears the pants in that kind of...
Oh, do you... Oh, Maria's definitely making Patrick call her mommy.
Yeah, 100%.
This little like for hire priest.
Yeah. He can do a pagan wedding if you need him to. Like, you know, he'll...
Do you know what? I'll even stretch to Judaism.
Yeah, I'll do it.
It's the first part of the book, so like I know it.
I've read the first half, like, you know, read that thoroughly, so...
How hard can a Buddhist wedding be?
Exactly. I like the idea that this is now what we've said. I hope this gets picked up by like a Google AI at some point. And so when someone tries to research the Brontes.
Our true goal is to spread misinformation.
Yeah, that's it. That's not what we're here to do, by the way.
No, please, like, we're trying really hard to tell the truth, but we're also trying to be funny.
It's a comedy podcast.
Don't reference this.
Please. If your book report is due in next week, turn this off and get up Spark Notes. We're not going to be able to help you.
Go on BBC Bite Size.
We can't help you. I'm sorry.
I am not getting an email from a school being, why are my students quoting you?
If you're on a bus going to work, absolutely, we're here for you.
If you want to talk about something around the water cooler that people are not going to fact check you on, go for it.
If you need
this is for a grade.
Yeah. If your work is being reviewed by someone, please turn this off. Please don't listen to this. This is not going to help you. Will you have a good time? Yeah, you will. Come back when you finished your paper.
And then go, those guys and their inaccuracies. But do not.
It's a public service announcement for all of our episodes, by the way. Just if ever you go and see a title of our episode and go, that'll be really handy for me for my next piece of work.
It won't.
It won't. it will not be handy.
Unless that essay is called Why Podcasts Shouldn't Be Trusted. Then go for it. Then quote us all day. When the last of the 5 Bronte daughters was born, because they had 5 daughters.
Damn.
The last daughter, Anne, was born in 1820. The family moved to Haworth in the Pennines. This village was known for an unusually high infant mortality rate, likely because the graveyard was contaminating the local water supply.
Oh, that's not good.
Isn't that like the most depressing vicious circle you've ever heard? Being like, God, all these babies keep passing away. Put them in the graveyard. More babies keep passing away.
Oh, God, that is a vicious cycle that you do not want to get caught in.
That's like one of those things that you could only happen at this period in history that because it's so bleak that you go like, huh.
The Pennines, though, lovely. Like a lovely part of the world.
Oh, yeah, just haunted.
Well, it is haunted, but it's very picturesque.
The year after they moved here, Emily's mother died. And because Patrick was unable or unwilling to raise 5 daughters himself, he moved his dead wife's sister in with them.
Yeah.
Which was Elizabeth Barnwell.
Sort of like a Full House type situation, you know, Uncle like Jesse, you know.
Maria died and he was like, well, we got replacement Maria at home. She's not married, obviously.
Yeah, that's fair.
So just popped her in.
Yeah.
Elizabeth was apparently not particularly maternal. She liked eating alone. So did Patrick. So again, just like a sad house, a sad, cold house.
And teas on knees, just like on a chair in the corner somewhere, you know.
There's a lot of teas on knees in this book. And I don't know if this is relevant, but Heathcliff tends to eat alone in Wuthering Heights.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's mentioned that he either does not eat very much or he'll like eat out of sight.
Yeah.
In 1824, Emily and her 3 older sisters, Charlotte and the other 2 whose name I don't have, sorry, were sent to the newly opened Clergy Daughters School. I bet that was a fun...
It's a fun time.
I think it's as fun as the school of French nuns that Coco Chanel went to.
Yes.
You know, again, they had like roller disco. We did a lot of like calisthenic workshops.
Yeah.
There was pottery.
Not at all extremely conservative. And if you want to know more about that, listen to our episode on Coco Chanel. It's a very good one.
It's definitely the second episode.
It's definitely the second episode.
Emily was actually the youngest student at this school, and by all accounts, the school were bloody horrible.
Yeah.
It were bloody horrible.
Bloody horrible.
The students reported terrible conditions, including like abusive discipline, a severe lack of food, a lot of gruel, and just no heat. Several students reported that the water they used to wash themselves in the morning often had frozen over, so you had to break the ice to get to the water to clean yourself.
You see, now people do that now.
And
they are like, oh yeah, some like...
Yeah, and this is just like a testament of like... Just a testament of Industrial Revolution abuse of children. Yeah. Now some guy called Dave on a podcast is telling me how it opens his third chakra.
Yeah. It's really good, you know, good for my muscle tension.
How enlightened were those children? I guess she wrote Wuthering Heights.
She did. She was pretty enlightened. What cold water will do. You could write Wuthering Heights if you have a cold bath every day. A nice bath.
I think if it worked, people would have, but what we have are podcasts.
And this is not Wuthering Heights.
This is not. Well, this episode is Wuthering Heights.
It is, yeah.
The school also had major sanitation issues like a lot of places at this period. You know, graveyard water supply.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. You've got chunks of dead baby floating in it. It's probably not what you want to be drinking.
There's also just like horse shit everywhere. Human poo-poo.
Everywhere, yeah.
Just like Lord knows what.
Yeah.
Just trash and bad vibes.
But beautiful views.
Well, Beautiful views. There were several outbreaks of diseases such as typhoid and tuberculosis.
Fun.
Emily's 2 oldest sisters would pass away from TB.
Oh, man.
After the school closed due to an outbreak of typhoid.
Yeah.
You got sent home for typhoid and then died of TB.
Yeah, no. That won't look good on the Ofsted report. I think that's going to be a fail on that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a needs improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's why we don't really mention the 2 older sisters.
Yeah, no, it's fair. That makes sense.
They didn't write books. After this event, unsurprisingly, the remaining 3 children were homeschooled.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Patrick's like, I don't think this is great.
No. You know what? That's fair.
But when she was back at home, Emily, like her sisters, were voracious readers. She enjoyed studying classics.
Club classics?
Club classics, yeah.
Well, Charlie XCX is all over the soundtrack for this book, so, it's going to be...
She had a brat summer.
Oh, Emily Bronte definitely had a brat summer.
Second picture did not. First picture definitely did.
Yeah, no. She's got like a Red Bull flavored vape.
She's on Discord so much.
Oh my God, she really is.
She also began learning and enjoying playing the piano, and she would read a lot from her father's private library because girls weren't allowed in the public library. These little women trying to read, off with you.
That's what the new Beauty and the Beast is all about,
She invents the washing machine in that film.
And they get really mad that she teaches them how to read.
Yeah.
And they destroy her washing machine that she makes. Things that actually happen in that film. Long and boring. We watched it not that long ago. It sucked. You can read my review of it on Letterboxd. Jared C. Jones on Letterboxd.
The family were really isolated, and the siblings tended to spend all of their time together. Emily and Anne were often described like twins.
Yeah.
But Patrick was kind of weird and had odd rules. He wouldn't allow them to eat a lot of meat because he thought it gave too much comfort. It's things like that. There's other stories that are considered quite apocryphal. Like he always had a loaded gun on him. I don't think that's necessarily true, but it's fun to think about.
This is typical Yorkshireman stuff. I don't know why you're saying this like it's apocryphal. It
is. It's the Percy Shelley thing, though. You go, no, I reckon someone was following him.
Yeah. You can't have too much meat. It's too good for you.
You don't want to get too comfortable.
You'd never want to get too comfortable.
Not in Yorkshire.
Yeah, no. Absolutely not.
It is important to remember that it's
all happening in Yorkshire.
This is all happening in Yorkshire.
The only way is Yorkshire, baby.
Yorkshire is a state of mind.
That's what Jay-Z's song's about. Him and Alicia Keys. Yorkshire state of mind.
Yorkshire.
It's pretty good up here. Go to shops. Now you're in Yorkshire.
And you can hear that brought to you this Christmas by the sausage rolls or whatever those fellas are called.
The sausage.
What are they called?
Lad baby. The sausage.
They just sing songs about sausage rolls.
Oh dear. And they do it for charity.
Yeah. Because they are just in this kind of grim, haunted house in Yorkshire, the girls started making up stories and writing a really complex imaginary world called Glasstown that was off the coast of Africa. It sounds like a Mad Max setup.
It really does.
But you can find them. Charlotte would start submitting some of the stories to magazines. There are existing
that's fun.
things of them. Emily would write her own kind of spin-offs called Gondal, which was another island off the coast of Glasstown that had its own characters and lore.
Oh, the BCU, the Bronte Cinematic Universe.
There's
going on
a little
here.
bit of that because all 3 have entries into it.
Wow.
Yeah. The reason this story is notable because there are examples of it sharing really early elements that are similar to Wuthering Heights. Some of the themes are very similar, and you start to see Catherine Earnshaw's character start to develop.
Oh, that's fun.
A little bit. You can make really clear similarities. Unlike Mary Shelley, it's not as A to B in the this thing happened and that's how we got Frankenstein. Frankenstein's almost a bit too on the nose in its creation.
I mean, it's wild some of the things that you go, no, that was based on, that has footings in reality where it's oh yeah, no, the guy wanted to reanimate things by sticking other bits of animals together and electrocuting them with electricity.
Everyone she loved died and she had this weird fear of motherhood. It's all that. It's all on the page. There's no subtext.
Yeah, I know writers who use subtext and they are all cowards.
They are. I think this one's a little bit more abstract. It's kind of taken more from just things that were around her necessarily than just her life. Getting into her late teens, early 20s, Emily was kind of drifting through life a bit. She attempted to work at a school that Charlotte also worked at.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't really find a lot of success. She hated working 17 hours a day.
No, that's fair.
She didn't really like her students. And she started to get really homesick. Now, this is really fun, and I was delighted when I learned this. At this period, homesickness was actually treated like a real illness.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte was really concerned that Emily was going to die from homesickness.
Yeah.
It is the thing of you have to treat it, you have to go home. At this time, this ailment was called nostalgia.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Isn't that fascinating? Yeah, so the disease, I guess, of homesickness was referred to as nostalgia. And people took it very seriously that you could die. It could make you very unwell.
Let me tell you, I am sick of nostalgia.
Right?
It's a real ailment that I have of I've got too much nostalgia in my life. Do you remember this? Yeah, I do.
It plagues us more than ever.
Yeah,
I think we have a nostalgia epidemic.
It is an epidemic. It really is.
So she did return home. She started writing poetry, and we then start to see really early glimpses of the melancholy, flawed Byronic style anti-heroes that eventually become Heathcliff. She was described by her family as strange and antisocial. She didn't like small talk. She didn't have a lot of friends. She was very isolated, very
Look, she's all business, okay?
She's all business. Some modern biographers, I've read this a bunch, and a lot of people have stated it as fact. A lot of people have suggested that she was autistic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wary to jump on that because, one, neither of us are doctors. It's a comedy podcast.
Yeah,
we have no qualifications. And it's also a bit weird to me to diagnose someone with something that they have no concept of and they are not alive to defend it or confirm it. There's just no
Yeah, you can't diagnose that
posthumously.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think that's fair. But it's the traits may be there, but that does not.
But you don't know. She might just be unlikable.
Yeah. She might just like her own company. It's not
and the reason I say that is because I currently work with someone who is convinced based on no information that I'm autistic. And I do not know how to explain to them it is because I do not like them and I do not want to speak to them. It is that whenever they're in the room, I just do not want to engage with them. But they have taken that to believe that I am on the autism spectrum. So, we can't make any
we can't make any assumptions based on very limited information and historical records.
Yeah. There are things that we can kind of conclude. The example I made in my notes of I think you can assume that Walt Disney is an anxious person.
Yes.
From his words and deeds. I am not going to
give a medical diagnosis.
I'm not going to state he has an anxiety disorder.
Yeah. That's absolutely
So he was
fair.
also smoking 30 cigarettes a day, and that's going to make you jittery.
Yeah. And they were drinking an awful lot of scotch back then.
Exactly.
That is
also going to stress you out.
Yeah.
But unlike Charlotte, Emily actually didn't leave a lot of letters at all. So we really don't know very much about her. A lot of what we know is based on her sister Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
And what she writes later. Some people do suspect that Charlotte might have tried to polish up her image a little bit after she died to try and make her a bit more palatable.
Well, look, we've said on this show many times the best thing for your image is dying. It's it's the fast track to becoming an icon, unfortunately.
I've got a quote here from Charlotte though that I think is from the foreword of Wuthering Heights after, I think it's the second or third edition after Emily had passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's quite a reasonable and balanced summary of this because there's also loads of weird fake stories that Emily got bit by a dog and she stabbed it to death. There's something about her walking down a hill with a broken leg. There's loads of weird, again, maybe fake, probably fake stories.
Yeah.
My sister's disposition was not naturally gregarious. Circumstances favoured and fostered her tendency to seclusion. Except to go to church or to take a walk on the hills, she rarely crossed the threshold of home. Though her feelings for the people was round benevolent, intercourse with them she never sought, nor with very few exceptions ever experienced. And yet she knew them, knew their ways, their language, their family histories. She could hear of them with interest and talk about them with detail, minute, graphic, and accurate. But with them, she rarely exchanged a word. So yeah, she's very observant. She's very like interested and engaged. She's just not very chatty.
Yeah, I think the other thing as well to say about that of like the wild rumors and things that, you know, we say about now of rumors that come out about people that are wild and unfounded. And it's like
Bruno Mars does gay. the rumor come out.
But the thing is that like back then, gossip could really go completely out of hand.
And you might never hear it.
And you may never hear it because it could start 2 towns over of like, oh yeah, you know her sister? Yeah, she stabbed a dog one time. Like, you know, and that's kind of canonized as truth. And it never even gets back to the, you know, it's like a game of telephone, but it never goes back to the original person as the, you know.
The other one that happens is almost like 100 years later, you have biographers in the 60s, 70s, 80s, either misunderstanding, misinterpreting a piece of information, or just making something up to zhuzh up their book.
Yeah.
Like there's loads of cases of that, of things that you go, wait, that's not quite the case of it. But because it's been repeated so much, it falls into it.
Yeah, one of those is Catherine Hepburn. They're like, she couldn't comprehend the idea that people would be lesbians. And it's like, it's very well documented that she used to hang out with many queer people.
Yeah.
And, you know, was rumored to be a lesbian herself. But it was a joke that she was like, what? 2 women together? That got written in a book and then sort of people told that story as facts of like, oh yeah, she couldn't comprehend it. It's like, no, that's not.
It's the same for Queen Victoria. It's not that she couldn't fathom the notion of lesbians. It's that she kind of didn't care.
Yeah.
That wasn't the problem. It was the sodomy.
Yeah.
And you can learn all about sodomy on our Oscar Wilde episode.
Yeah.
Learn all about it.
Learn all about it. That's what the whole episode's about.
Wuthering Heights was published on the 24th of November, 1847, under Emily's pen name, Ellis Bell. They always write under pen names at this time. I think it's interesting that it's a pen name that's a woman.
Yeah,
because typically they use men's names.
Yeah, that's kind of all, you know, the classic one is J.K. Rowling is like, you don't know what.
Yeah.
Well, that was the idea.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the idea.
The novel was published by Thomas Newbery, the same publisher for her sister Anne's novel, Agnes Grey. The novels were accepted for publication before Jane Eyre, but were published after.
Right, okay.
Out of the 3 of them, Jane Eyre was like the bestseller of the day.
And they were like, well, we got
their sisters' books.
We got their sisters'
well.
books, and if there's anything like this one, you know it's going to be good. So
Wuthering Heights was nothing like Jane Eyre.
Yeah, but you know, again, I imagine that back then book publishing was very similar to like movie publishing of being like, or you know, movie production being like, get her on there. We need to get me a Bronte now. I don't care which one.
Exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happened. A lot of people were like, oh, another Bronte sisters wrote a book. And they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like all books written by women at this time, people hated it. Wuthering Heights is specifically because the characters and the plot is very morally ambiguous. We're still in a period where art is supposed to teach you a lesson of morality.
That's our job. That's what we're here for.
But this story focuses on like domestic abuse, class abuse, doomed love, the supernatural. Like there's a lot of real like heavy stuff in there. It's quite psychological and cerebral in comparison to Jane Eyre.
Yeah.
It's also quite like disjointed. The novel's not in a perfect order.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard to know what time it is. An anonymous reviewer in the Examiner wrote, "This is a strange book. It is not without evidences of considerable power, but as a whole, it is wild, confused, disjointed, and implorable. The people who make up the drama, which is tragic enough in its consequences, are savages ruder than those who lived in the days before Homer." Which is a really nice way of putting something I do agree with. Everyone in this book is an asshole.
Yeah.
But Jared, what actually happens in Wuthering Heights?
I have literally no idea.
With zero knowledge, Jared, what do you think? Like, absolute speculation station. Toot, toot. Give me a...
All I know is the Kate Bush song, and it's not my favorite one. I will skip it on...
The best one's Cloud Bursting. We know this.
I enjoy that, and Running Up That Hill, also great. Babushka can get in the bin.
Jared doesn't understand that Kate Bush is for women.
Yeah, no.
It's not for you.
I understand that. You know, I completely...
We're not having an argument about Kate Bush.
We're not having an argument about Kate Bush. I'm not arguing with Kate Bush, you know? I like Kate Bush.
Are you going to upset all those lesbians?
No. What I'm going to say is I understand that not all of it is for me. I understand that.
Good boy.
But what happens... I know that there is a man called Heathcliff. He is not from round these parts or whatever. He sort of comes into this family and then goes out of this family, and then Cathy's dead or something like that, you know. When he comes back from wherever he goes, I don't know where he goes.
No one knows where he goes.
No one knows where he goes, but he's like, he disappears for like 10 years, and he's like, oh, she's dead? What? And then I don't know what happens.
You know.
And I got all that from the Kate Bush song. I did not.
So, spoilers ahead, I guess, because someone's going to be like, oh, I can't believe you ruined the... This book came out in 1847. I have been angry about this since The Great Gatsby movie came out. Watching people and moan about spoilers for The Great Gatsby.
You've had 200 years to catch up.
You've had ages to read this book.
You know, I can understand when people get annoyed when we spoil Succession in our episodes. That I understand. But, like, you know, it finished, like, what, 3 years ago?
Gatsby dies getting shot in a pool and the Jazz Age ends. It's all about disillusionment, all right? You know what? Do you want Mice and Men? Lenny gets shot.
But yeah, what is Wuthering Heights all about?
Wuthering Heights is the story about how one guy not getting the woman he wants causes generational trauma and Succession-style business takeovers of real estate.
Oh, I forgot the real estate. There's always real estate in
There's
these.
a lot of real estate.
There's always real estate in this.
I think it's fun because I was reading Wuthering Heights and having the thing of going, it's bloody real estate. It's just like Dracula starts with Harker trying to sell a house. It's one of those stories where it is a story being told to another person, being told about another person. So there are times where there are like 4 levels of narration.
Right, okay, yeah.
So you kind of have to just ignore one of them entirely. For example, you have someone telling Nellie a story who is being recounted to Lockwood, and Lockwood is recounting it to you.
Right, okay.
So you just have to ignore Lockwood in this. Lockwood is the narrator, and honestly, not really important to this story. He's just kind of the conduit in which this is being given to you.
Right, okay.
He is renting a manor house, which is Thrushcross Grange. Thrushcross Grange. It's hard to say.
Thrushcross Grange, yeah.
It is isolated in the moors of Yorkshire.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the thing this film is never going to do is acknowledge that everyone in this is from Yorkshire.
Look, Jacob Elordi said he practiced while he was in the bath, okay? So, you know, and why would he lie?
It's not a sexy accent.
I love you, Cathy.
My heart bleeds for you. You're everything I've ever loved. Cathy! You know, that's how this sounds.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, this film is going to make everything seem lush and grand and very, like, opulent. Every character in this book reminded me of someone from League of Gentlemen. Like, I just keep thinking about they're in the middle of nowhere and everyone's a bit, like, grotty and smelly and they're all like, what are you doing here?
It's a local shop for local people.
There's nothing for you here.
Yeah, there's nothing for you here. There's a lot of, I can see that.
Yeah.
The other thing about, like, the Yorkshire, like, dales and, like, the moors and all that is that, it's very pretty.
It's
like,
gorgeous. It's desolate.
It is absolutely desolate, and it's often very grey and very wet. It is not a like...
And the book covers that beautifully. Like there are these descriptions of people moving across the moors and you can really like imagine it. And it is gorgeous. It's not what that film looks like.
No.
They're filming on some real sunny days. Yeah. They can't walk from one house to another because people almost die like all the time doing it.
Yeah.
But we are at Thrushcross Grange. The house is 4 miles away from the older and grander manor house, Wuthering Heights. It's not Withering Heights, it's Wuthering.
Wuthering Heights.
What Wuthering means, dunno. Lockwood, he requests from the housekeeper, Nellie Dean, the story of Wuthering Heights. He's sat by the fire and he's like, I'm bored, tell me things.
Regale me.
And what he said, the story that you read are his diary entries about it. Wuthering Heights was owned by Mr. Earnshaw and his family, notably his daughter, Catherine Earnshaw. It's important that we specify Cathy and Catherine because they are not the same person.
Okay.
There is Catherine and her brother Hindley. Earnshaw visits Liverpool for business, but returns home with a dark-skinned boy that he's named Heathcliff.
Right, okay.
You know how you go to Liverpool and just come back with an orphan?
I think people have come back from Liverpool with worse, like, namely venereal diseases is the main one. And a hangover and a venereal disease are the two things that you can...
Yeah, he like shows up at like a I don't think it's a Christmas party, but the Cliff Richard musical states that it is. We'll get to that. He's a bit like, I've got a surprise for you kids. And they're like, oh, is it like a violin? He's like, no, it's a boy.
That is pretty exciting.
A lot is made and noted about Heathcliff's appearance.
Yes.
It does not state explicitly in the book where he is from. That's part of the mystery. But he is always described as dark-skinned. He's also called a couple of like choice racial slurs.
Yeah.
People have like all sorts of speculations, and I don't think there's any definitive answer. It's just important to know that Heathcliff is the other. He does not look like them.
Yeah.
So that is what kind of propels this narrative forward.
And, in the Wuthering Heights movie, he's played by Jacob Elordi, who's very attractive.
Yeah, and Margot Robbie plays a 16-year-old.
It's true. It's a very attractive 16-year-old, so you can see why he would be the other in that situation.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It's almost as good as when Madonna plays a 14-year-old in Evita.
Oh.
They're about comparable in that, like, yeah, let's look at that. She looks young, but she doesn't look like a teen girl.
Yeah, woof.
We'll get you a review of that film once all the book talk girlies have like dried up the seats and sorted themselves out. Like, we'll go see it. The children initially hate Heathcliff and bully him, but over time, Catherine and Heathcliff start developing a bond and a relationship, spending basically all of their time together.
Yeah,
they start being like that couple in high school that are like, we're gonna kill ourselves together. Those like they're very into each other.
Yeah. After
Mr. Earnshaw's wife passes away, he starts to really grow a preference for Heathcliff over Hindley. That goes down super well. He starts to state that Heathcliff will inherit Wuthering Heights. He will get like everything the land touches, Heathcliff gets, because he's awesome. He's the one I found.
Yeah.
Like when you get a cat and you're just like, what a great cat.
What a great little guy. Yeah.
Earnshaw decides to send Hindley off to college whilst keeping Heathcliff at home, which also like nobody loves. When Earnshaw dies, Hindley does inherit Wuthering Heights. However, he shows up with the house and now he's got a wife and he's like, got it in for Heathcliff.
Yeah.
He now makes Heathcliff a servant and is working in the fields.
Oh.
Going from bestest boy to farmhand. And there's a lot of like physical abuse. He's like beaten up. I think he gets punched in the face at one point. There's a lot of violence in this book. There's a lot of people getting beaten up.
So we're saying that Heathcliff fell off, though. That's the like...
Don't count our boy out yet.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is Heathcliff our boy? No. Heathcliff's like smelly and angry.
All right.
Despite this, Catherine and Heathcliff keep developing this relationship and they might like, do some smooching. However, as they are walking across the moors one night, they approach Thrushcross Grange to go bully the rich kids that live there, Edgar and Elizabeth Linton.
Okay.
And like during their shithousery, Catherine is bitten by a dog.
Oh no.
She is forced to stay at Thrushcross Grange, and they send Heathcliff home because Heathcliff has to pass the message on.
Yeah.
Like all of these, this happens in Pride and Prejudice as well. Catherine stays there for like 5 weeks.
You gotta stay there and get your money's worth.
Yeah, no, you can't go. You can't go. While they're apart, while they're not with each other, Catherine is modeled into a young woman. So they really start to like fix up her image.
Oh, okay.
And teach her to like be proper in society,
Yeah.
And she starts developing feelings for Edgar Linton, the fancy little boy.
Oh.
Someone who is a considerably more suitable husband for her than Heathcliff. Hindley's wife dies during childbirth, leaving a son called Hareton. The grief causes Hindley to become a drunk and more abusive towards Heathcliff. Meanwhile, Catherine's social ambitions push her towards Edgar Linton. They get married, and Heathcliff runs away from Wuthering Heights without a note. He's gone. He's off into the hills.
Oh my God.
He returns 3 years later, and Catherine has married Edgar.
Oh.
Heathcliff doesn't love this. He's like, not okay. What he does is super chill.
Okay.
He convinces Edgar's little sister, Isabel, who's about 15, 16, to marry him.
Right.
To prove a point that A, that she's stupid, and B, F you, Edgar.
Yeah.
You're going to marry my girl? I'm going to marry your sister.
It's
abuse her.
It's a real, like, that's definitely an idea,
It's a shock to no one that Heathcliff turns out to be a bad husband, and Isabel runs away to London. Catherine dies in childbirth.
Oh, no.
Leaving Heathcliff distraught and alone. The daughter that Catherine leaves behind is Cathy.
Right.
And that's why we have to make the distinction.
Yeah.
The only person that calls Catherine Cathy is Heathcliff.
Right.
That's why I kept going, Cathy!
Yeah.
But the daughter is also called Cathy.
Right. Tension.
I know.
Drama. I'm intrigued.
So there is Thrushcross Grange, where we've got Cathy and Edgar, and we have Heathcliff and Isabella's son.
Yes. Linton.
In these two houses. So Cathy is out playing on the moors. She's quite like a rambunctious, precocious child. But unlike Catherine, who was a bitch, we didn't get into this, but Catherine sucks.
Yeah.
She's just an asshole to everyone.
Yeah.
Cathy is very like spirited but sweet.
Yes.
She's out on the moors, just having adventures, pretending she's on the Silk Road, and she ends up approaching Wuthering Heights. She's never heard of it before. It's always been kind of kept away from her because her dad's like, come on, we're not.
Yeah.
She briefly meets Hareton, but she's rushed home by Nellie, the narrator, the housekeeper. They start kind of coming back and forth. She's like, she wants to know what's going on in Wuthering Heights. And she ends up meeting Heathcliff. Heathcliff takes her to the house where he introduces her to Linton, who is like, the grey alien boy from American Dad? The one that's like all like, ugh.
Yeah.
Linton's like that.
Yeah.
He's just like, he's so like Tiny Tim coded. Yeah. He's absolutely just dying. Over time, Cathy and Linton start a kind of secret relationship.
Oh, okay.
Sending letters back and forth. The romance is discouraged by kind of everyone. No one loves it, but they continue to do it.
Yeah.
Because Cathy is so headstrong, just like her mother. We learn, however, Linton's interest in Cathy is being engineered by Heathcliff. He is trying to get the cousins to marry each other so that he can take control of Thrushcross Grange and enact his revenge.
His revenge.
While this is happening, Edgar, Cathy's father, is becoming very unwell and also about to die. Heathcliff enacts like a cunning plan where Cathy has to go to Wuthering Heights, and he kind of slams the door shut and is like, you're not leaving until you marry my dying son. And she's like, but my dad's dying. And he's like, yeah, that's the point. So he keeps her hostage until she agrees to marry Linton.
Not chill, dude.
Heathcliff is not chill. And we'll get into this being a romantic story in a bit, but like...
I'm not getting the year of yearning from this.
Right?
Like, I'm not getting yearning from any of this.
Cathy states throughout the book that there is no one she loves more in the world than her father, so she really wants to be there when he dies. So she's kind of forced to agree. She marries Linton,
yep.
and then races back to the house to see her father's passing.
Yeah.
Heathcliff has the last laugh for now because he now has what he wants. He owns both houses.
Yeah.
He is the Tom Wamsgan of this situation.
Oh, man. And he's going to turn it into a bunch of HMOs. You know?
Once Edgar's in the ground, he ends up forcing Cathy to work at Wuthering Heights as a servant while he rents Thrushcross Grange to Lockwood, the narrator at the beginning.
Okay. So we're
come all the way
tying
around.
it back in. All right. God, this is like a Christopher Nolan film.
Right? It's like there's a lot going on. Lockwood is disgusted by this.
And rightfully so.
He like hears the story. He's like, bro,
that's not chill.
He leaves Yorkshire to go back to London, but comes back because he's like, I actually want to know what's going on.
Yeah, that's fair.
He wants the gossip. He learns that Cathy has gotten into another relationship and she is very happy now. She's like doing better. Things are working out. But Heathcliff has started to be haunted by Catherine.
Oh, no.
He is getting increasingly like erratic and angry and violent, but it is because he keeps hearing her and he keeps thinking that he's seeing her everywhere.
Yeah.
He does another weird kind of like legal thing to engineer a situation so he can be buried next to her. And after like a couple of really intense days, he walks out on the moors and dies.
Oh.
Where he's reunited with Catherine.
Oh.
And they're buried together. The book ends with Lockwood kind of going out and being like, wow, that's kind of sad.
I don't know if anyone won in that story. It all seems like everyone was kind of all just seems a bit bad, really. Like,
I mean, Cathy and Hatton worked out well in the end. They kind of broke the... It was a bit of a D plot I didn't get too into because we don't have all of this time. But is this story romantic?
No, I don't think it is.
Not really, no. Like,
I think it's you have been saying to me for a while of like, I don't know what this film is going to be because it's really like the year of yearning. It's so like, sexy.
It's sexy. And I can see how that is in the book. There is yearning. The relationship between Catherine and Heathcliff, that there is a lot of that. It's not like it is in that trailer, though. Like,
the problem is that, like...
You have to really zoom in on very specific bits of it to get that out of it.
Yeah, I think the thing is that, like, the yearning does, in fact, happen. However, within that, like, after the yearning has stopped, it's kind of like, oh, no, this is actually quite a messy situation.
Yeah.
That, like, you know... If you, I see what you mean of like if you zoom in on a certain part of it, you can be like, oh yeah, that's romantic and yearning.
Yeah,
but then when you expand it,
the tragedy that they can't be together because of class and race is harrowing. The fact that she dies and that they are soulmates because they both suck, and she dies leaving him alone, and his only kind of goal in life is to avenge that in his own way so that he can be at rest with her. Yeah. But loads of us have relationships that don't work out. Yeah. We don't like cause 2 generations of trauma to prove a point. And I know that's a very like, ooh, boo, boo, boo sort of, but I think it means we actually lose focus of the real point of this, of what Gothic at the time is.
Yeah.
Which there is this, especially feminine Gothic, is this contrast between domesticity and horror.
Yeah.
Heathcliff is romantic. The way he expresses feelings for Catherine, you can pull that out. He's also like a really unpleasant presence in that book. He walks into rooms and the entire thing changed. He's a bit of a monster as well.
He also disappears for 3 years. He runs away. Like, it's not...
Yeah. There's really interesting... Heathcliff and Isabella are in really similar circumstances, that their life was going really well and then someone kind of screwed it over for them. But they deal with it in very different ways.
Yeah.
And I think it's things like that that get lost when we focus solely on the romance of it.
Yeah.
I'm not stating that I think this film is going to miss the point. I think it's only going to focus on one point.
Yeah. And there's a lot going on in that book by the sounds of it. Like,
there is. It's a really kind of in-depth narrative. You're following quite a few generations of a family.
Yeah.
And they've all got names that are hard to remember. But Jared, is Wuthering Heights iconic?
Yeah, I think so. You know, there's been enough about it of like, you know, even if it is a Kate Bush song that I know it from more than anything, there are many adaptations of it. There are many different interpretations of it as well that have come out. So yeah, absolutely, I think it is.
I think it's one of the pillars of
Gothic literature.
Of English literature, of women's literature. Like, it does stand on its own. It's very bold, a novel for the time. Like, to have a book of characters which are not pleasant. Like, I do mean it when I say they are like League of Gentlemen characters. They are weird and abrasive. They interrupt each other. Like, no one comes out looking good in this book. You are left at the end of the book asking, are Heathcliff's actions justified?
And that's up to you.
That's for you to decide. I'm going to say no, but it's very similar to Frankenstein in that it's the image of the thing. I think we lose the details, but we definitely have that, like, the idea of it.
Yes.
We have that screenshot of Cathy and Heathcliff on a moor, almost kissing.
Yeah.
And it that's the icon.
Yeah.
Rather than, like, the actual narrative of it. Because I even said to you while I was reading it, going, I know I read this book when I was in high school. Don't remember any of it. So I do think it's easy that we forget the details.
Yeah.
But it's discussed in Twilight. It's a Kate Bush song.
It sure is.
There's a whole Wikipedia article about the many adaptations.
Yeah.
And there's a musical.
Yeah, we love a musical.
It is a Cliff Richard produced production. It has lyrics by Tim Rice. And it stars Olivia Newton-John.
Wow. I mean, I'm going to say, if you want to hear more about that, it's going to be on our Patreon, patreon.com/how to be an icon. Subscribe over there. It is free. You get access to our post shows where we talk about weird adaptation of musicals that we seem to be talking about, because we have a whole episode all about Love Never Dies, which is one of my favorite episodes I think we've ever recorded.
Yeah, it's my favorite episode, hands down.
So if you want to hear that and a review of the Wuthering Heights Cliff Richard musical, did you say from the early 90s?
Yeah, it was from the early 90s.
I know nothing of this.
Definitely, someone saw the Phantom of the Opera and went, I've got an idea.
I can do one of those. But yeah, that'll be on Patreon, patreon.com/how to be an icon, or the link is in the description below. And if you haven't already, give us a follow on this platform of choice where you are listening, whether it be Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or wherever it is where you get your fine audio medium content. But the question is, we've said, is Wuthering Heights an icon? What can you learn from that? And what can you learn from Emily Bronte?
I have a few. Write the story.
Yeah.
Just write the story. Go out and write it. Now, not all of you should write the story. And I have a business proposition for you.
Okay.
We are going to start offering a service where we tell you whether or not you should write that book.
Okay.
Send us the idea for your novel.
Yeah, elevator pitch, you know.
And then we'll tell you, go for it. Or like, try again. The other one I would have is read the book. With the film coming out, I hope people actually do read the novel.
Yeah.
And because you get so much out of it to do it. I think something we've done a lot of on the show. Reading's cool, guys. Reading's actually really cool.
I might tack onto that as well. Of if you have, and this is like, I think we kind of have a bit of a like aversion to this in our sort of modern day life of things of nepotism, of oh, well, because you are related to X, therefore what you do is not as good as Y.
Yes.
You are not as good an actor as your mother or father or whatever it is. That is not always the case. Just because you have a successful sibling or partner or parent or whatever, if you are talented, that will still come through.
You can still do things.
But you can always don't feel bad for using the success of the person ahead of you to get that, because, you know,
it happens everywhere else.
It happens everywhere else. It happens in every other industry
other than entertainment
like,
and art.
We have such an aversion to it when it comes to like entertainment and stuff. And it's like, no. It happens in everything. So do not feel like, oh, because my sibling is successful or, you know, my mother or father is successful that you can't cash in on that or feel bad for doing so.
You cannot benefit from that in some way.
Because, yeah, it's very different to Jane Eyre. It's a very different book, but they kind of just went, oh, yeah, we'll get that, you know.
Hers was good. My final takeaway, and this is from Wuthering Heights as a novel, I think to love is to be a bit problematic.
Oh, there's a bit of that, yeah.
I think
it's definitely an element.
You know, certain types of love do lend themselves to you being a bit problematic. And that is part of the human experience, to be a bit problematic and be a bit of a crap person.
Not everything is like tied off in a neat little bow, you know? Like,
yeah. You are a reflection of your partner. So if your partner sucks, it might also mean you suck.
Now, I don't
But if you love that.
Yeah, now, I don't think you should ruin 2 generations just to kind of be like, and I had the last
laugh. Yeah, don't abuse a bunch of kids.
Yeah, don't do that. That's a no. Like, that is not what we're advocating for.
But send that text.
But do send that text, you know.
You know the one.
Yeah,
the one that you've got in a note on your phone. Just send it now.
Yeah, don't, honestly, blow up the group chat. Like, honestly, start making accusations. Be toxic. No, don't do that. That's...
Be like toxic, but for love.
Yeah. Do it for romance.
Toxic romance.
And again, this is why we're saying that you shouldn't use this as justification for this is a comedy podcast. You know, yes, I want to do good in the world.
You should read the book, though.
Yeah, you should read the book. That is good advice. Next week, we have... Oh my God, do we have an icon for you? Because Donna...
Emily Bronte would not have cared for this woman.
She would not, but Donna... Do you believe in life after love? Because we are talking about the one, the only. It's sheer Wagon Wheel with 2C. Wagon Wheel with 2C. Yes, we're going to be talking about Cher.
How many times am I going to shout that in that episode? Oh yeah, it's me, Cher.
It's me, Cher.
Oh, hey.
Yes, we're going to be talking about...
a tour and an album.
You get the tour and you get an album, and I said, okay. Yes, we're going to be talking all about Cher. I'm
so excited.
But yeah, if you want to be here for that, give us a follow on your podcast platform of choice. And follow us on Instagram, How to Be an Icon Podcast, and head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/How to Be an Icon, where we're going to be talking all about the Cliff Richard vehicle that
Heathcliff.
is the Wuthering Heights musical.
It's just called Heathcliff.
So please join us for that. But thank you very much, Donna Cameron.
Thank you very much, Joe Jones.
What a wonderful episode this has been. And Cathy, home safe, everybody.
I love you.